fellow believers of our generation, we stand before a world of 6.7 billion people competing and collaborating for a better quality of life. And in this world, there are 200 million of us. We're young. We're in Southeast Asia. We're aged between 15 to 35. We're energetic, restless, and we're ready for change. We're ready for change in our jobs, our education, our family, our personal habits, or even our purpose, our success, and our future. We're ready for change, and we've decided to do something about it. My name is Khailee, and I'm 25 years old. Through my work with youths, and as a co-founder of Youth Asia, and as our organizing partner of YES2009, I'd like to take you through a little bit about what we mean by Southeast Asia Youth for Change. We're going to be traveling a little bit. The first stop, Vietnam. The first generation after the Vietnamese War. The Vietnam youth have heard how war has destroyed their country, and they've heard enough. They know that their future depends on connecting to the outside world, and that communicating well is their passport. So, we have a group of friends in Vietnam who decided to meet up regularly for conversation, except they're meeting up to speak in English. They would find a foreign expat or someone on the street who could speak English well and invite them to join their meetups. This simple format spread across the internet like wildfire, creating a network of meetups where youths take the English education out of the classroom and into their own hands, because they believe that these small steps can make Vietnam more accessible to the world. Next stop, Indonesia, where we see a population of over 200 million. And for many of the families, life is challenging, and often the rights of children are left behind. But for a group of Indonesian students who knew the implications, they don't want such a fate to be passed down onto the next generation. So they formed the foundation to fight for the rights of children, representing a voice which would otherwise never be heard. And they were advising governments and international bodies. What they're doing, they do it because they know that they can help move the next generations of Indonesians one step forward. With examples like these, we spin back to Malaysia. And as the country of Malaysia sees the need to come together as one Malaysia to take on global competition, often enough, internal differences get in the way. But for a small group of fresh graduates who thought, you know what? The only way to bring young people together was to get them involved in activities they can actually do together. And this led to some of the largest youth festivals ever organized by youths for youths in the country. They brought the idea to life because they believe Malaysia's future depends on being united today. Ladies and gentlemen, those are just 3 stories handpicked out of 105,502 stories from youth across Southeast Asia, which we've collected over the past 6 weeks. And there are many, many, many more stories from the Philippines, Singapore, Cambodia, Laos, Thailand, Myanmar, Brunei. And we are so fortunate to have something even more than stories. We have some of the 500 actual young people behind the stories to fly in from across the region to join us today in this room. Give them a round of applause. These are a new breed of youth leaders. They're armed to the teeth with weapons of mass connectivity. You need to know something? Google it. Need to get the word out? Twitter. Need to get friends involved? Boom, we're on Facebook. When the need to meet like minds draws them and they want to get thousands more to move, there's a way. And these young people in this room, they're with us today and they are going to find it. Such is the world we live in. Such is the power in the hands of youth. But sadly, the world has passed judgment on this generation. Lazy, spoiled, indifferent, disconnected, hopeless, apathetic, rebellious, selfish, egocentric. We have, along with this, parents who can't even have a conversation with their teenage son over dinner. Employers who don't have faith in local fresh graduates. Businesses who spend millions to buy artificial relationships with young consumers. And even country leaders who disappoint the youth with the politics of greed. Such is the world we live in today. But of course, the course of history is taking a turn. And what we've seen over the past 6 weeks is a sign. where 120 organizations consisting of some of the largest universities, colleges, online communities, NGOs across the region said, hey, let's band together and bring the real voice of Southeast Asian youth to the front. Together, we collected 105,502 stories, millions of words, thousands of images, and hundreds of videos, all on YouTube, distilled into key messages for the world to know. Ladies and gentlemen, we're the first in the world to see this report and this product. We are the first to hear from these youths at the Youth Engagement Summit. And this is in the report which you'll be given. All this is possible only because of a network of believers and angels who help us through. Of course, the youths were a big part of it, but really, there was a huge, larger picture behind them. And there's one man. He goes by the name of Harminder Singh. I think you could recognize him. He was on stage just now. He had a turban. You can't miss him. He was one of these believers because he stood by all the mistakes a young team would have made, and he pulled us through because he believed in us. And then we've got sponsors like AirAsia and Sime Darby, who also believed in the power of youth and gave us the resources we needed to have this conversation in the first place. They believe. And we cannot forget the kindness of 1,000 strangers, from the travel agent who fought her way to buy one ticket for a young Cambodian boy to come here, even though she was told that all flights were full, to the volunteers who stayed up all night to make sure we had goodie bags, to the 41,000 Facebook friends who told a friend, who told a friend, who told a friend, who told a friend, who told a friend to share their story for the Sea Change Youth Report, down to the global speakers who will join us in this room. We have come far. Ladies and gentlemen, this is youth engagement. This is the Youth Engagement Summit, and you're in it. And we've come too far to let it end here. I know some of you have come as parents. We've come too far to stop trying new ways to connect with our kids. Some of us may have come as employers, and we've come too far to stop grooming our young talent up and up. Some of us have come as businesses, and we have come too far not to champion our consumers' needs. Or maybe we have come as leaders, and we've come too far not to lead with integrity. Or we have come as youth, and we've come too far across the region to stop believing in ourselves. So let's use the Youth Engagement Summit 2009 as our launch pad to so much more, because we all have come too far as a collective to leave our future in the hands of others when the world is telling us that we are the change we seek. We have come too far not to go all the way. Thank you.
Khailee, thank you very, very much.
One.